Greetings nerdy list aficionados, and that's right, Top 10 Nerd is back with lists about how nobody understands anything. Of course, disclaimer, you may understand all of these characters and powers. If so, go and up your nerd cred and enjoy a cool beverage of your choosing. Today, we're looking at the Titans. I'm gonna look at all iterations of the team and also examine origins on top of power sets, cause sometimes that's where a lack of understanding can stem from. Also, lists like these are a fun way to bring attention to some characters we wouldn't otherwise talk about. I'm Sasha, and these are the top 10 Teen Titans with superpowers no one understands. We're gonna be getting a little obscure here depending on your breadth of comic knowledge, so get excited. Number 10. The Teen Tyrants. We're gonna start off with a variant of the team from another Earth. They're inspired by the Crime Syndicate, who are the evil version of the Justice League. So their team consists of Red Robin, Tempest, Arsenal, Red Raven, and Blackfire. What makes this slightly perplexing, especially to someone just jumping in, is except for one of these are all names that have been used either by the hero in question or someone in their universe. For example, Red Robin is often the alias of Tim Drake, but this Red Robin is an alternate evil Dick Grayson. Tempest is the name eventually taken on by Aqualad, just like Arsenal is for Roy Harper. And Blackfire in the main verse is Starfire's sister. They were clearer with their naming in the Crime Syndicate, where it was Ultraman, Superwoman, Owlman, etc. However, admittedly, a lot of the potential confusion is cleared up by the visuals, and the fact that the Titan team in question here is the one from the animated series, and not from the comics, so that helps. Number 9. Jesse Quick. Now for those of you who are watching the CW Flash show, you'll know of the existence of Jesse Quick, but what about her history with the Titans? Jesse Chambers first debuted in the Justice Society of America Volume 2 number 1 back in 1992. She's the daughter of two Golden Age heroes, Johnny Quick and Liberty Bell. Through some waffling about where to put her, she ended up on the 90s run of the Teen Titans, which was simply entitled Titans. At this point, she was a member of the team but also managed her father's company, Quick Start. Part of why she was recruited to the Titans was that they felt their personal squabbles had taken the team down before, and they wanted buffers. A question people often have about Jessie and her speed is how fast is she in relation to Wally, cause it would vary. Also, she was involved with her mom's boyfriend and that led to his death. It was a whole thing. She accessed her speed powers using what she called a mantra. She could visualize the speed formula, so she had to do this in order to access the speed force, which she was linked to. Because of her mom, she also has super strength, so a good power combo. Number 8. Osiris. There have been 3 Osirises, and for our purposes we need the third, Amon Tomaz. He was briefly a member between Infinite Crisis and 1 year later. Big DC reset events, cause nothing shakes up the roster of a team like a giant event. So he is the brother of the hero Isis, who during this period would marry Black Adam, who was on a heroic bend briefly, kinda sorta. Osiris joined the Titans cause he wanted friends. You know, save the world, go out for burgers, it's like a club really, but sometimes members die, and he was one of them. He was granted his powers by Black Adam, and so to become Osiris he must say his name, which must have a double effect on people. They must panic and think Black Adam is about to show up to defend his brother-in-law. One question people have about his powers is whether or not he has access to all of Adam's powers when he is not there, or is it just still a small portion of them, which is the usual Shazam fare, but coming from Egyptian gods, so Shu, Heru, Amon, Sehutu, Aten, and Mehen. If I mispronounced any of those, I'm sorry, but I'm sure some of you will yell at me anyway. Number 7. Wonder Girl, Cassandra Sandsmark, the second Wonder Girl even though she's the third to be called that name. She first debuted in Wonder Woman Volume 2 number 105 back in 1996. Unlike Donna Troy before her, she has a definitive and clear origin. She was Wonder Woman's sidekick and would go on to be a Teen Titan, have a thing with Superboy, at the time Con-El or Connor Kent, and then end up with Robin, Tim Drake, his best friend when they thought he was dead. So she gets her powers from mystic artifacts, such as the Gauntlet of Artemis, the Sandals of Hermes, which give her strength and flight. Also, fun fact, Zeus blessed Cassandra's mother to be able to take away her powers temporarily with a touch. Zeus believes in a good time out. This isn't random, she's Zeus's daughter. He's still taking up with the Earth ladies all these millennia later. Cassandra also has a lasso, but it's not a lasso of truth. She can also have her powers impacted by other members of the Greek pantheon, like Ares, who once took her powers because he felt she was being too frivolous. You have to be into Wonder Woman to get all the nuances of Cassandra, and since Rebirth she really hasn't been as prominent. She is now on the Titans of Tomorrow, because there were multiple Titans books running simultaneously. So now she's not in the present timeline. But it's fine, I mean Connor only kinda sorta exists right now anyway, there's so much confusion with who is who and where they are. Number 6. Wally West 2. So Wally West 1, I guess, is the second Flash in the mainverse timeline, but the third if you include all continuity. He took over the mantle of the Flash after Barry Allen died in Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985. So then Wally went from being Kid Flash to Adult Flash. He was the Flash all the way up until the New 52, which was used as an opportunity to retcon him out of existence, cause DC head Dan Didio doesn't like him. And yet, there was still a Wally West. Meet Wallace West. He debuted in the Flash Annual number 3 back in 2014. He is introduced at first as the biracial, even though they rarely draw him that way at first, son of Iris's brother. Wally would end up joining the New 52 version of the Titans as Kid Flash, but fans never really took to him as they were salty and bitter about how Wally 1 was retconned. So they brought Wally 1 back in Rebirth. They're gonna call the second one Wally 2, I'm calling the first one Wally 1. Wally was brought back in Rebirth, it was a big event. Very moving. But now, what about Wally 2? It's not his fault he was poorly introduced and handled. Also, if he was retconned out of existence, there would be a thing on a whole other level. So he has been kept around as well, and in Rebirth has a new origin. He is now the son of Iris's other brother, Daniel West, who is the Reverse Flash, which is a cooler origin. Wally 2 is cool, he just needed to be introduced in a way that wasn't full on trying to replace the first Wally. Why did anyone think people would go with that? Who greenlit this? Number 5. Ravager. Okay, so there have been 5 DC characters named Ravager, but we're talking about Rose Wilson, Deathstroke's daughter. She first appeared in Deathstroke number 15 back in 1992. Ravager, pre-rebooted origins, had a complicated relationship with her father to the point where she both idolized and hated him, and was modified with the same serum that enhanced him. However, the serum rendered her unstable, and she was prone to fits of psychotic rage. She even gouged her own eye out to be more like her father. She ends up on the Titans after befriending Nightwing, who Deathstroke had asked to train Rose after she had lost to Batgirl Cassandra Cain. This was after Dick's rape, so he was in a bad place and open to going to the dark side for a little bit. Rose would mellow out considerably post-Crisis. She would get her eye back and would sometimes babysit Leanne for Roy Harper, back when Roy Harper's daughter was still alive and existed. She's also been a member of Terror Titans, and since Rebirth she is around again, but not as prominent. And Nightwing trained her, but not because Slade asked him to, but because he wanted to. Number 4. Jericho. Now Jericho is set to appear in the, at the time of this recording, upcoming season 2 of Titans. Jericho is another of Deathstroke's children. He first appeared in Tales of the Teen Titans number 43 back in 1984. He was created so the team wouldn't consist entirely of characters with connections to pre-existing heroes. He is Slade's youngest son. He was rendered mute when Slade's mercenary life caught up with him and they came to try and kill him and his family. He saved his son, but not before his vocal cords were cut. So Jericho could possess someone by making eye contact. His body turns insubstantial and then he enters the host. He can then tap into all that person's abilities. However, the victim can still speak. He can't take over that part unless they're asleep. Jericho was a pacifist and genuinely good person until he got corrupted. Now Jericho isn't hard to understand, but he was largely forgotten for a time, which was a shame. His storylines were really good. Yay for him being acknowledged again. Number 3. Power Boy. Once again a hero that has shared their name with multiple others. We're talking about the third Power Boy. And yes, there is a Power Boy, and yes, he has a boob window. The third Power Boy debuted in Teen Titans Volume 3 number 38 back in 2006, and was on the team during the 1-year gap in Infinite Crisis. He had vague Supermanish powers. So Power Boy was supposed to be a male parody of female superhero cliches, down to his costume that had the boob window and had a lot of chest hair in it. I don't know, for me it never fully crystallized. I mean, a lot of heroes have ridiculous costumes, and as a fan of the boob window, that never really connected with me. He dated Supergirl for a bit and then got creepy and possessive and she had to assault him to get him to leave her alone. Again, parody? If so, it's just poorly executed. Can somebody else have this costume? I'm kinda into it. Number 2. Kid Devil, aka Red Devil. Meet Eddie Bloomberg. He first appeared in Fury of Firestorm number 24 back in 1984. Since Infinite Crisis, he was trying to join the Teen Titans and would eventually get in after failing for psychological problems. So Kid Devil, he used to get his powers from his devil costume, and some of the things were fun, like bursting bubbles, night vision, etc. But then Infinite Crisis happened and he was retconned. Now he had a demonic appearance and abilities to match, these given to him by the demon lord Neuron. He can breathe fire, has super strength and stamina, can heal almost any wound, his blood is now gasoline, his very breath can burn, he can create portals of fire and travel through them. He's not around right now. He died sacrificing himself to save the Titans. See, he was a good addition to the team after all, as cannon fodder. Too soon? Kid Devil is a bit of a blink and you'll miss him character for a lot of people. He's not the Blue Devil, that's a different character. And number 1. Donna Troy. She made her first appearance in The Brave and the Bold number 60 in 1965, but the character of Wonder Girl had been around since 1961. This character had been created as a direct result of Frederick Wortham's novel Seduction of the Innocent, which posited all kinds of at the time salacious things about these heroes, and the Comics Code Authority wanted to combat this, especially because they were saying that children shouldn't read comics at all, and that was their market. Aside from Batman and Robin being coded as a homosexual couple, Wortham was afraid that Wonder Woman was a lesbian. He was really concerned about this, because she was a strong, independent woman who didn't need no man. So the solution to this was to give Wonder Woman a family, including a Wonder Girl, because lesbians don't have families, I guess. And Wonder Girl was her little sister, but it was really just a younger version of herself who she partnered up with. However, this led to confusion, as when the Teen Titans started, she was mistaken for a regular character and not another version of Wonder Woman. They thought she was a sidekick. So she became an independent character by accident, and because of this her origin would forever be a convoluted mess, because at the start she didn't have one. There was even an entire plot years later surrounding this called Who is Donna Troy? On her origin, Marv Wolfman had this to say: "I wrote the original Donna Troy origin story back in the first Titans run. She had never had one and was in fact not a real character. She was a computer simulation of Wonder Woman as a girl." That story also named her Donna Troy and set up everything that followed. Unfortunately, after Crisis on Infinite Earths and the Wonder Woman revamp, we had to go back and redo it again, as a brand new Wonder Woman being born on Earth could not have rescued the girl from the burning building. I wish we had been able to keep it, as I think it's gone insane now. I just wanted a simple origin story. I came up with the original, and then George Perez and I simply elaborated on what had been done, giving her real knowledge of who she was. I would love to say that everything after Who is Donna Troy should be forgotten, but that's not the way continuity works, sadly. I feel like that belongs in a t-shirt. That's not the way continuity works, just a sad crying face. She also had multiple power sets and different origins for said power sets. First, she was given powers by the Amazon's Purple Ray. Post-Crisis, she had powers that were identical to Diana's, but they were later enhanced, and she could command darkness and cold. In Rebirth, when Dick became Rick, Donna took over leading the Titans. That's the Cliff Notes version. Donna could have a whole video all her own. At one point, she was a magical duplicate made up of the memories of her from Wally West. That's Wally West 1. Thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more nerdy lists, and of course hit the bell notification so that you never miss a vid. I'm Sash, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.